Hello, this is Chris Moberg, and I'm coming to you with the next installment of Quantum Training. And today we're going to talk about RPM pickup, in particular inductive pickup. Now the first thing to note is you'll see I have optical pickup selected. And really Quantum, or even Dynocom Quantum before it, doesn't know what you really have connected at the end of the wire that's coming into the DC controller. And optical offers you the most options for setting the number of pulses per revolution of the engine. So even if you're using inductive, my suggestion is to go into optical. And with optical, you have all the standard things you have with optical. So let me just depart the quantum settings here and talk about how you would hook up your inductive pickup. Most of the modern inductive pickups on the market are designed for low voltage pickup, rather than the sort of the old school timing light style where you put it on the plug wire. And so you really have two options, well, three options really, for low voltage pickup. You can go on a common coil on positive or ground. Typically you're going to orient the arrow on the pickup so that it is following the flow of current. So if you're on the positive, it's facing towards the coil. If you're on the negative, it's facing away from the coil. Or if it's coil on plug, you would get one of the positive, and I recommend really the positive wire in each case. You get the positive wire. You can't clamp around all the wires. You have to sometimes pull the shield or harness cover back and get to the positive wire. It's not always red. You sometimes have to look for online doc as to what color the cop wires are. But you can get on one of those. And lastly, you could get on an injector wire. These are a bit simpler, typically only two wires. Once again, I'd go on the positive to the injector. Now, let me talk about the limitations of each. When you're on either of these two, you need to understand what kind of controls the ECU is making of spark and or fueling in exceptional conditions. So what I mean by that is when you have an over rev, is the car going to do spark cut? If it does, you're going to lose your RPM pickup. If you do over boost, is it designed to cut fuel? In which case the injectors aren't going to fire. So you just have to know really what ECU triggers are going to happen and choose either the coil or the injector to mitigate what the ECU might be doing. And I generally feel it's safer to use the injector. There's more things that can affect the coil. I think if the injector's hard to get to, use the coil. Now, let me contrast that with optical. And optical is something you can use regardless of those two factors. And so, with optical, you can have fuel cut, you can have spark cut, it'll just work. So, pick the style of RPM input you want, and good luck with it.